The following is a journal that was written while I was committed to a total of 5 psychiatric hospitals that are located on Long Island, Queens, and the Bronx, New York. This book provides anecdotes of hope for anyone who is confronting similar adversity. Disclaimer: I am not a licensed medical doctor, therefore, any mental health theories, information or descriptions of myself or other persons discussed are based on personal research and are strictly my own opinions. In addition, some people's names have been changed to protect their identity. Part 1, pages 1 through 50. The Psych Ward Notes, Surviving Anxiety and Depression, written by Peter Vox, copyright 2021, Peter Vox, all rights reserved, Boulevard Books, The New Face of Publishing, artwork credit, front cover illustration and design, by Darren Wilsey, narrated by Peter Vox, courtesy of Descript Audio Software. Forward: Did I know that things had become bad for Peter? Yes, but this bad? No, I didn't have a clue. Over the past few weeks, Peter has been forwarding copies of his journal transcriptions that were written while hospitalized in a neuropsychiatric center in New York City. These were the blueprints for what would become the book you're about to read. Within these journal entries, Peter set out to describe his current life circumstances, and does so in considerable detail, sharing what he refers to as his ruminations. He is describing a variation of himself that seemed diametrically opposed to the version of Peter who I first met on a rainy Thursday afternoon during the summer of 1989. But things were different then. For some perspective, please allow me to momentarily take you back to the magical time that was the late 1980s. The days of no internet, no social media, and no smartphones. Friendships were most often formed because of one's life circumstance, or the occasional chance encounter. I was about to embark upon my senior year of high school. My next-door neighbor and classmate, Scott Merlino, kept mentioning, "Hey, there's a guy who works out at my gym that you have to meet. He sings and loves your type of music." Scott wasn't a musician, so I approached his referral with a degree of skepticism. However, and not wanting to sound rude, I would say, "Oh, okay, I'll look forward to meeting him one day." A couple of weeks later, while returning home from summer school, I was surprised to see Scott sitting on our front porch. He was accompanied by an unfamiliar guy sporting a mullet. It was Peter Vox. Over the years I have often thought about how grateful I am that Scott took the initiative to make this introduction happen. It was one of those seemingly random introductions that would end up changing the course of my life for the better. If one is willing to surrender to the infinite wisdom of the cosmos, the alignment of circumstances that led up to that fateful afternoon are not a matter of mere coincidence. In many ways, the version of Peter who you'll be learning about during the ensuing chapters isn't quite the same as what I'm describing here. The Peter who I met and would become close friends with during the early 1990s was very social, outgoing, industrious, and most notably, hilarious. Peter was blessed with an abundance of comedic wit. Of course, Peter is still all these things, but time has a way of etching away its smooth surfaces. The gravity of chaos is heavy. This realization also...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?